Hey, Giant fans. Welcome to the Giant Insider Podcast. My name is Jerry Foley. I'm the senior editor of the Giant Insider newspaper, and with me, as always, is the beat writer and the heart of Giants Nation. Nobody beats the biz, Chris Bizignano. So this game starts yesterday, Chris, and the Giants defense gets the Seahawks off the field relatively quickly. Got, I think, 1 or 2 first downs, but they did their job. First play of the game on offense for the Giants, and it looks like disaster. Jones falls down, but look, to their credit, they go down the field. Eric Gray makes some great moves. Jones looks pretty good. Couple good runs. They get all the way to the 1 yard line. And the Giants do something that really only the Giants can do, right? Leaping over the middle, over the pile. I thought Gray actually scored, but apparently they ruled that he did not. Seahawks return it for 102 yards. I cannot tell you the amount of text messages I got from people that just said, I'm done, I'm turning it off. The live stream, everyone wanted to turn it off. But, dude, credit to this friggin' team and Brian Daboll, man, calling him out on this for the resiliency to come back and play their best game of the season and get the win in a hostile territory against a good football team. And the way they won it at the end, I don't want to define everything on every play, Chris, but it just felt like the way they won it at the end, maybe some demons were exercised there, right? I don't know. But, dude, that's a resilient bunch. You have to give them credit. It was a very nice win. And to your point, Chris, last week on the podcast, you can call that a signature win.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. The play at the goal line, I'm still not convinced that Eric Gray, that the front of that ball didn't touch the goal line before he started losing control. The Giants are victims of being the third or fourth broadcast team for calling the game. What do I mean by that? Well, they only have a certain amount of cameras on the third or fourth broadcast team. If that was a national game, or if that was with Brady or the number one or Romo, they'll have more cameras overhead, sidelines.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So I would love to see the overhead. I would love to see a goal line shot of it. All you saw was that one from the back
Angle.
of the end zone.
Yeah.
And the ruling on the field was that it was a fumble. Jerry, I think if the ruling on the field that it was a touchdown, I don't think they would have overturned it.
Yeah, you might be right.
I don't think you see enough there. I'm really still not convinced that he even fumbled that ball.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. That's what the call was. And you're right, dude. I mean, when it happened, I was like, only the Giants, man.
Yeah.
This could only happen to the Giants.
Yep.
But like you said, credit to these players.
Yep.
Brian Daboll and his whole coaching staff. And just an incredible job by first-year coordinator Mike Gabriel, for something he saw on film.
Yeah.
We'll get into that with the big block with Isaiah. So credit to this organization, credit to the players, credit to Daboll. I mean, right off the bat, Daniel he trips over Thomas's foot there. I think Thomas caught his foot or something, whatever. He falls down. They still go down the field.
Yeah.
Great drive, probably the best drive they had in 10 years.
Yeah.
But they go down the field, and then that fumble, and Rashad Jenkins goes the other way. Nobody even knows it's even a fumble. They're really not even trying to chase him down. He's trotting halfway down the field. And I'm like, oh, my God. This only happened to the friggin' Giants,
Yeah. And it was 2nd and 25 after that play. They got Jones ran up the middle, and then it was 3rd and 17. And what I feel bad about with Eric Gray, Chris, is he did so much to get them to the goal line. Yep. Eric Gray looked good on those screen passes, man. And we'll get into Tyrone Tracy and maybe the diamond in the rough of that draft class so far. But, Gray did a lot of good things down the field, and then he fumbles, and that's the narrative. And, it's a shame. I felt bad for him. But like you said, dude, at that point, you're like, oh, my God, only the Giants. But, dude, like offense, defense, and special teams came together to get that win, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah. And I tell you what, Jerry, you look at it and go, okay, you got to win this game to keep this season interesting, right? If you're 1-4, it's like, okay, it's Halloween time, and it's basically, next year. But now you look at it, right, dude? 2-3 football team, and you say to yourself, okay, who do they play next week? A 1-4 Bengals team.
Winnable game.
Then you play Bengals team they're going to have their receivers back. and they're a good team, but team with warts. Not a
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Not a team you look at now and say, okay, we can't beat these guys.
Yeah.
The defense has a lot of issues.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you look at the following week and you see the Steelers on a Monday night and you say to yourself, why can't you beat these guys?
Oh, God, I know, dude.
They just lost to a Dallas team that was devastated. With
Depleted with
Right?
injuries. Yeah.
And then you look at it and you say, and then you go into November and you say, okay, well, you got a Washington team at home.
Who's afraid of them?
And then you got a following week and you go to Germany and you play a Carolina team.
7-3, Chris. No, I'm just kidding.
And then you go and you buy.
Yeah, yeah,
So what I'm saying is, like, with that win yesterday,
yeah,
it gives you a lot of feel good moving on.
Yeah.
Looking forward to these games.
yeah.
Jerry,
Gives you
the Giants well-deserved win yesterday. They outplayed Seattle in Seattle.
Yeah.
Offense was phenomenal. Brian Daboll calling plays.
Awesome.
It's a different animal this year.
Yep.
His schemes again yesterday, coming out throwing screen passes, right?
Mhm.
I mean, just more gap runs.
And when's the last time you saw more than one consistent screen?
He threw 2 in a row one time.
Right. So when's the last time you saw multiple screen passes that were successful in a Giants game, Chris? Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, just the resiliency, right? You come out, you have that devastating fumble return, and then they get the ball back. They go 3 and out. Okay, well, it looks like we're done. But Seattle gets the ball back. Their first possession, they go 3 and out, and the Giants come down the field tired, and it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, another solid game.
Yeah.
Victim of a few more drops. Again,
Yeah, Wandale.
Wandale twice.
Yeah.
Slay one more. But how about Daniel? You know, you talk about a different quarterback because he has some time this year. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You know, again, the offensive line. Good job up front.
My biggest complaint of Daniel Jones is much different than it was last year, Chris. My biggest complaint this year is he's taking too many hits, and I don't know what he's doing. Like, is he trying to prove something? Like how tough he is because he got hit a lot yesterday rather than sliding, and he got the hard yardage. But come on, man, be careful there. That's all.
Yeah, he took a shot right behind the head there. I think that last drive, or second, whatever it was, and it's like,
Yeah.
he can't be taking those hits, Jerry. Now you saw yesterday a concentrated effort for him with the design runs with Daboll.
Yeah.
But he has to get down to some of these other runs, man.
Right.
He's going to get hurt again, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But look, we all know Daniel's tough.
Mhm.
We all know that, but you don't have to show it every damn run.
Right.
One time he was actually trying to get more yards. He took another shot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Daniel, you've had a history. You got an injury history, man. Just get the hell down at times. You know what I mean? When you have to get down, get the hell down.
Yeah.
But the offense, 400 plus yards. What can you say about Tyrone Tracy? Just an incredible game. I could not believe his vision.
Yeah. Cuts.
At times.
The cuts too, man.
Finding the holes, the cuts, showing the power and the gap runs at times, getting up in there in the gap runs. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I felt like we had a closer in that game. It felt like we had a closing running back, like someone who can close that game out by pounding the rock. And it was funny. I wish I said it out loud. But as the week went on, we don't have another podcast after Wednesday. But as the week went on, it was clear Neighbors and Singletary weren't going to play. And they said, well, they're going to be without their number one receiver and number one running back. And I thought to myself, yes, obviously they're going to miss Neighbors. But number one running back, I really want to see what Gray and I want to see what Tracy can do. And I think going forward after yesterday, Tracy's got to get the ball. Tracy's got to get the ball. He's got to be the number one running back at least next week. Because I was excited about Tracy playing in that game, Chris. I wasn't like, oh, this is a downgrade. Especially everything you talked about for training camp. I was more excited about Tracy in the passing game, especially being a converted receiver and then what you said he can do in the passing game. But running the ball, I mean, he was awesome yesterday. He was, 7.2 yards a carry, 120 whatever yards he had. He was incredible.
So you were excited about my reporting over the summer?
Yeah, yes, I was. And dude, listen. I don't want to get ahead. I'm kind of all over the place. This is what happens after Giants win. I'm sorry, guys, but you look at this draft class right now. There's contributors. I'm not going to grade it, but these guys are contributing in this draft class right now.
Yeah, sure.
And your fifth round pick can be your number one running back, and his first start he gets 120 whatever yards.
Yep.
On 18 carries.
Yep.
Let's go,
Pretty
baby.
impressive, man.
Yeah.
And Jerry, I put it on Twitter yesterday. I remember this over the summer, because Tyrone was a kid who only played running back 1 year. He was a receiver.
Yep.
And I remember watching him when they put the pads on in August. And I see him and I see the vision. And I'm saying to myself, man, for a kid only played running back, this kid looks like he's got some pretty damn good vision. I see man, you saw that yesterday, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he was finding those holes. He was cutting in, very decisive, right?
Yeah.
Daboll said that to us today. Very decisive, man. Showed some power,
And showed some speed on the outside, too, when he broke it to the outside.
Absolutely, man. So, if you would have told me, Jerry, before the game, your boy Tracy's going to get 129 yards, I would have been like, all right, relax with that now, But
yeah,
it is, man. So the offense was, look, just if you want to find a blemish, well, okay, 3 field goals in the red, all that, okay. But long drives, they had the ball 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, so how do you keep a real good offense off the field, right? Well, you keep them on the sideline. That would help.
That first drive, it's a shame the way it ended. That was 10 minutes, that first drive.
10+ minutes, right?
Yeah.
We all know what happened.
Yeah.
And, Seattle only had the ball 22 minutes. And you look, when they had the ball, except for the one drive where I thought Bowen got a little soft, just basically letting him play in that zone, letting him catch everything in front of him and all that. How about the defense, too?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know the game ball went to Isaiah Simmons. I think the game ball had to be cut up in 53 pieces and given to everybody on this one because I don't like the offensive line, Tracy, the defense, the pass rush, the secondary, Deonte Banks, Jones. Like everyone played pretty well. I mean, like you said, there were a couple drops, and you can complain about that, and they got a little soft on defense, especially towards the end. But dude, the defense came through. Deonte Banks, talk about answering the call. You said it. I think this is answering the call. Jerome Henderson kind of calling him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he answered. Cordell Flott looks good.
Yeah. Drew Phillips back in the mix.
Yes.
20 plus.
Which I didn't notice till the end of the game. I didn't notice him till the end of the game, to be honest with you. So.
And let's face it, dude. I mean, what more can you say about 97?
Nothing.
I mean, just absolutely dominating out there, man. I mean, Jerry, there was a few times, a handful of times where he was just one-on-one with the right guard and the left guard. And he just manhandles people, man. Yeah. Like you literally, he literally is getting the Aaron Donald treatment.
He's collapsing.
You have to double him every freaking play. And
he's collapsing the pocket.
I mean, he was just destroying people up front yesterday. Dexter Lawrence is just, he's just great, man. I look at him and I don't throw that word great around.
No.
And I even put today on X, I said, he's Aaron Donald like right now.
Yeah, no, it's not wrong.
Because he's just destroying people up front. Mm-hmm. When the times that Aaron Donald was one-on-one, it was like no match.
Right.
And you look at it yesterday and just Dex was just, Bradford, he just winged aside a few times. Then they double him, and then a couple of times it was an ISO on him, and it was like, good luck.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence right now, to me, him and Chris Jones, I got to be honest.
Best interior lineman in football, dude.
I got to be honest with you. Right now, I have Dexter Lawrence even better than Chris Jones right now.
Yeah. Right now, sure.
That's how well he's playing.
He's doing everything.
Not that Aaron Donald's out of the picture, retirement. To me, it's Dex and Chris Jones. Those two guys are the best in the game. Dex might be the best in the game right now because he's just, Jerry, 6 sacks, numerous hits, hurries, and he's doubled them so many times, man. So, very impressive effort with him. I thought Burns and Tibbs played well too. And look, they did what they had to do up front. A lot of times, they had 7 sacks. They wound up with 7 sacks,
leading the league in sacks, Chris.
Yeah, which you haven't heard of that around here, and other guys contributing. DJ Davidson yesterday.
Yep.
Contributing. And Burns had the big play on the 4th down stop, and and that play relies on him collapsing down. He just came at Gino. Gino didn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
And Thibodeau, Thibodeau's been a steady good, not great, but he's been pretty steady good.
Not number 5 overall, but he's been good. Yes, I'll give you that. Yeah.
But he's been good.
No, look, the pass rush is something we were excited about. Dexter Lawrence looks like he's playing at a defensive player of the year type of level, Chris. If things keep going the way they are for him, he's going to be in the running for that. And especially if the Giants can somehow make something of this season, he's going to be in the running for that. And he deserves it. 6 sacks in 5 games, especially for an interior. If Brian Burns had that, I'd be ecstatic. Dexter Lawrence, an interior lineman, has 6 sacks in 5 games. And that doesn't count all the times he's blowing up the backfield. I mean, he's virtually unblockable right now, right? Like, this is a guy that could play for the Giants in any era on any defense.
Oh, sure.
And you would, you wouldn't miss a beat. And in fact, you'd probably even improve. He's that good. But he's also, look, his play is also helping Burns and Thibodeau. We're excited about the pass rush. I'm still excited. I mean, they're leading the league in sacks. Now, some of those, I think, Pinnock has 3 sacks, right? But Bowen's scheme is a lot. It's been a little more aggressive than I was anticipating. I don't know. You know this more than I do, but how much did they blitz yesterday? Do you know?
They blitzed only about 20% of the time.
It seemed more. Unless maybe the pass rush was that good, but it seemed like every time I looked up, there were 5 or 6 guys running towards the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But this scheme, this defense is. I'm more excited about it than I thought I would be overall. I'm not just saying pass rush wise, but My favorite part of that defense, though, was seeing, as well as Dex played, and as well as everyone played, Deonte Banks answering the call and looking like a number 1 corner yesterday. I thought he played his best game of the season by a friggin' mile yesterday.
By a mile. I agree, bro. And he was traveling with DK.
Yep.
He was traveling with DK.
Yeah.
That's not an easy assignment.
Yeah.
And he did a hell of a job. Shane Bowen, I tell you, Jerry, he's playing to his personnel too. I mean, he's generally not a man press guy for 60 plays.
Right.
But you have to also play to your personnel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's doing that very, very well. Most of his 4-man rush.
Well, the good, real quick, the good coaches do that. They don't do the square peg round hole shit. The good coaches do that. Go ahead.
Look, Wink Mondale did a lot of good things here, but he was always guilty of that. Well, I'm going to play my system. I don't care who the hell's in the secondary,
Yep.
And burn them at times with the Ravens here, all that, right? I think Bowman's doing a good job of mixing up,
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions whether or not he was going to travel with guys, and you saw Tate Banks traveling with him yesterday, And I thought he was mixing in Flott and McLeod. Drew Phillips was in the slot. McLeod was in the slot at times. And he's relying on those 4 guys up front a lot. And then he's mixing in the 6-man look on a rush at times. Confused. I thought Seattle a few times yesterday. I think, look, this is not they got talent up front, Jerry, but overall, not a very talented roster on the defensive side. Besides, Burns Dex is one of the best.
No, I hear you.
But other than that, you look at the secondary and all that stuff. But he's doing a hell of a job, Bowen, with this defense, man. I mean, yesterday too. They did a hell of it, except for that one drive where he basically just sat back in that zone and conceded that, which I don't like either.
I hated it. Yeah,
they got right back in the game, right?
Yeah,
and they made some big plays. I think and then, but for overall, this Shane Bowen's doing a heck of a job with this defense, man. The defense has been pretty damn good.
Yeah,
for the Giants this season, 20, like you said, 22 sacks, and for the most part, did a good job when Seattle had the boys. Jerry, nobody wrecked Kenneth Walker. They had to throw the ball a lot and too, but they've been pretty good against the run, right? Since that Washington game.
Right.
They've cleaned up a lot with the run game.
Yep.
I know DK, no Tyler Lockett, Smith Najib. Nobody blew them up in that secondary. And that was a big concern.
Yeah.
Now, Gino got him a few times with his legs.
That last drive for the field goal, that was when he killed him with Lockett fake Nubin and I think it was Adoree Jackson doing this.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that was a great play by him. Yep.
Yeah, and then he just and Smith just ran 30, 40 yards down the field.
Yeah. So at the end of the game, they're going in for at least a tying field goal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this.
You know what, Chris? Hang on.
Yeah.
We're 20 minutes in already. We're going to take a break, guys. Time flies when you're winning. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to the Giant Insider Podcast. Hang on 1 second. Rounding third base, 8-year-old Dalton's leg began to hurt. Despite over 3 years of treatment, including chemo, an amputation, and multiple clinical trials and surgeries, Dalton, or D, passed away at 12 years old from cancer. His parents and Giant fans, Jen and Will, formed Defeat Cancer to help discover targeted treatments and help kids like Dalton and the 16,000 American kids diagnosed with cancer each year. 100% of donations to Defeat Cancer directly fund pediatric cancer research. Please help them at www.defeatcancer.org. That's www.defeatcancer.org. www.dfeetcancer.org. Thank you. And we're back, folks. Listen to the Giant Insider podcast with Jerry Foley and Chris. Nobody beats the biz, Bizignano. All right, dude. Go ahead. Last play. Yep.
Yeah. So, Jerry, it looks like they're going down. I'm like, wow. They're at least setting themselves up for the game-tying field goal.
Yeah.
If I was worried about the touch, and then they get, so I'm looking at it, and we all know what happened with Isaiah Simmons with the blocked field goal. Can you believe that, Jerry? That special teams play on the Giants? Right
No,
there.
no.
I mean, declaring Mike Gabriel the best special teams coordinator in the history of the Giants right there. No, since back.
That's why I said it felt like demons were exercised with that play. Like special teams, fluky losses, everything. Anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, only thing that would have been better if it would have happened against the Eagles. That would have been the only thing that would have been better, right? Because they did that to us so many times. So the block field goal by Isaiah, and we know what happened. Ford Wheaton cleans it up and goes for the easy touchdown. And I'm saying to myself after the play, looking at the play, the replay, and man, I don't remember seeing that at all this year, And I'm saying to myself, this is why I always talk about coaching in this sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying to myself, I wonder if that was a wrinkle they saw this week, And then Daboll answered it in the post-game presser when asked. He's like, "Yeah, Gobi came to me Tuesday and says, hey, listen, I see this. We could use Isaiah for this, blah, blah, blah." And Daboll went with it. And Daboll was a little anxious. He talked about he wanted to do it early in the game. And Gabriel held off, says, no, hold off. Let's just hold off on it.
That's unbelievable.
Now, Jerry, here's the thing, dude. That was one real ballsy green light from Brian Daboll. And I'll tell you why. That play has to work to perfection.
Yes.
First off, you have to leap. I mean, Isaiah is an incredibly athletic player. We know this from his Clemson days.
Yeah.
He has to basically jump straight up because you can't go with a running start. That's a penalty.
I didn't know it was. Go ahead.
Okay. Then when he's leaping over the offensive lineman in the right guard spot in this position, right next to the center, if your left hand or your right hand hits his back, flag, leverage, automatic first down. Now they're thinking touchdown, game over.
Yeah, 15 yards.
Right?
It's a 15-yard penalty.
So for Daboll to give the green on that field goal block attempt, Jerry, I'm not quite sure, but I would have given the green line in that. I think me personally, I would have settled for the field goal, tie game. Let's take it from there. Because, dude, if that would have went wrong, the littlest thing. So what a ballsy call by Daboll. And this is what I talk about coaching so many friggin' times. Something he spotted, Mike Gabriel spotted in the film work. I says, I think we could use this. I think we could make this work.
Unbelievable.
And Isaiah never did it before, right? He jumped straight up, block. Just an unbelievable play. And the Giants get out of Seattle with a win because of a little thing the coach saw on film. Little things win games. Go ahead.
Imagine being an athlete. Imagine being so good an athlete that you've never done it before, and then you win the game with it, right? When it happened on the live stream, I was waiting for the ball to come back because I thought he can't do that. And then you see he didn't touch anyone.
He didn't jump over the center. If you would jump over the center, you can't do that.
No, right. I mean, it was so fast. It was like, there's no way this is legal.
No way this could be legal.
Right. And that was my thought. I said, oh, it's coming back. And then I just start laughing because it was such a ridiculous play by a ridiculous athlete. But dude, great points. And maybe it needs to be talked about more. Like, there's three things that can go wrong there where it's 15 the other way, and then they're going, and then they're playing for the win. So like you said, dude, the balls to go to your coach and say, I see this. The balls to say, yeah, okay, run with it. Sounds very Parcells-like, but I'll leave that aside for another day, just for him to be able to say that. And then for Isaiah Simmons to pull it off after never doing it. I mean, I guess I get why he got the game ball, but that's an incredible series of events. Kudos to the coaching staff, dude. Oh my God,
Jerry. Dare I say it was Gary Reason-like? I know it was I know it was a championship game. I'm not,
Go with it.
but
Yep.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was
Or
like
even Jeff
like
Rutledge.
Parcells telling
Yeah.
Gary, hey, if you see it, run with it. And this is Gabriel going to Dave's going, well, let's do this. And Dave's going, run with it.
Right. It wasn't quite. Now this wasn't.
Championship, I get it. But what I'm saying is, dude, it was very Gary. Like they saw something. Yeah, run with it. Not another coach. Maybe no, we can't take that chance. Let him kick the field goal. Well, 55 seconds left. We'll try to. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell you, dude, that was a ballsy move by Daboll.
I'll tell you what, dude. And and there was another play in Super Bowl 21. Again, I'm going back, and it's a Super Bowl. But Jeff Rutledge's 1 yard 4th and 1. When Parcells literally said to him, if you see the formation, go ahead with it. That's ballsy. It reminds you of that. And again, I know these are championship games and they're Super Bowls. I get it. But the balls on a coach, you have to have that. You have to trust your players. You have to trust the coaching staff that if they see something, you let your players play, and that's it. And Daboll did that. And dude, like you said, I don't want to go too far off Daboll because then they say call you a homer or whatever. But dude, the play calling, I was saying it yesterday. How can you even question anything about Daboll right now with the way this team is playing for him? You've covered teams that have quit on their coach. You've covered them. These guys are going above and beyond for Brian Daboll. I think they're playing better. Look, we said the Giants are close, but they're playing better than their skill set right now, especially in a game like yesterday. So listen, man, everyone deserves a game ball. And your coach does too. I thought this was a game where it was like, how could you even question anything with regard to Daboll's job security after a game like that yesterday? I'm not saying he doesn't make mistakes. I'm not saying, and no one's flawless, but that game yesterday, Chris, if I'm putting together a resume and I'm Brian Daboll, I'm putting that at the top of it saying, this is the Seahawks game. Check it out. That's just me.
Hey, and you're forgetting one thing too. I don't know if you're forgetting about it, but let's point this out too, dude.
Yeah.
How about the way he has Daniel Jones playing?
Yeah, that's kind of big too. Yes. Right.
After week 1, he was dead and buried.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not even going to argue. Rightfully so in a way. Dead and buried.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Daniels should be benched, the whole deal. Well, I tell you what, how about the way he's playing?
Yeah.
Is it always going to be perfect with Daniel? Like last week, he missed a couple of big ones that could have won a game for them, right?
Yeah. But yesterday was his best. Game. Yesterday was his best game.
How about yesterday? I got, people saying, well, it's impossible. He just can't throw the ball down the field. He can never hit a guy downfield. Well, he hit 2 yesterday, 20-plus touchdown. I
like the touchdown to Slayton better than the long bomb to Slayton. It looked like it was a second read with Slayton going across the field. That's a tough throw to make too. That was my favorite throw of the game, more so than the down the sideline one.
Absolutely, Jerry. That cross is a tough throw, right?
He threw it perfectly.
And last week, I put something on X and I said, well, we're trying to figure out, right? Daniel, the long ball and the vertical game, and he's missing. And I kind of threw something out there and I said, well, is it mechanics, or is it calculation? Like he seems to be calculating immediate routes, the intermediate routes very well. Now, is it a calculation issue where he's just not calculating right down the field? I don't know.
Right.
But all I know is yesterday he did.
Yeah.
I mean, and Jerry, and you can't have 2 deep crosses like they had in that touchdown yesterday without the offensive line holding up front.
And that's like the unsung hero, right, of the unit, right?
Raymond Luminor, 40 pass blocks, 0.
I mean, and it's almost like I'm already almost taking them for granted. Like we've covered every other player on this team, and that offensive line, run blocking yesterday and pass blocking all year has been good.
Yeah,
I mean, to have a functioning offensive line, it changes everything. We've talked about it over and over again, and it's changing everything on this offense, and it's giving them so many more options. I was going to say something real quick before the offensive line. You brought up Slayton. Slayton's one drop was his first one, right? It was like a kind of a bubble screen drop, that one.
Oh, it was just a pass over to the sideline.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it was a little screen like I said.
So I almost forgot about it because he had such a good game after it. It's like that drop was so early in the game.
It was early in the game, yeah. It was early.
But like I mean, there's obviously a chemistry with Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton, right? I mean, it's fairly obvious. Like, Jalen Hyatt played a bunch of snaps, didn't get the ball, but he clearly is comfortable with Slayton. No?
Yeah, they've always had that good rapport. Those two guys, they definitely do, and he's comfortable with Slay. He knows where Slay is going to be.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. He's one of those guys. You got to get trust in your receivers, And I see it with Wandell. I see the trust there.
Yeah,
that's not the issue. The issue is Wandell's been great. Oh no, you know what? When you have the drops, that's not great. He's been good, very good, Wandell.
Yeah,
but he's had some drops on Daniel, man.
He had three big ones over the last 2 weeks.
Jerry, if he makes that catch against Dallas this week,
still running.
This might be a 3-2 football team.
He's still running. Yeah.
So
and we were all excited. A little bit. We're excited about Wandell. We still are, but he's got to clean up the drops because they're getting frustrating. Yeah.
Jerry, that's part of the game. You got to clean it up. Can't be having drops.
Yeah.
And listen, and look, Jerry, I just want to quickly, we'll see where Malik's at this week.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's doing better, and hopefully he's back Sunday, right? Sunday night. But I liked yesterday.
I know you're going with this.
Spreading it around.
Yeah, right, exactly.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So when Malik gets back, I don't want any targets from Malik. No.
Yeah,
when Malik gets back,
yeah,
he's going to get his targets. He's going to get his bulk of targets because he's a dynamic talent. But I don't really want to see 15 targets, 16, 14, because there's other talented receivers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you see Theo Johnson getting involved yesterday.
I was going to say that was my next point. Yep.
So you saw him getting more involved. You say 5 catches for Theo, I think, on 5 targets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slay with the 100-yard game, Wandell with some catches and all that. So keep that balance going. I know Malik's had to get his talent because he's dynamic, but Jerry, I just don't like that 15 targets for Malik, 11 for Wandell. Everybody else, you could go home.
I agree. Me neither. You know I mean? Yeah.
Try to keep that balance, man.
Especially when there are other playmakers on this team, not just neighbors.
Yeah. So I like to see that. Keep that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Malik's going to get his 10 targets. I get it. This guy's great, of course, as he should. The kid's freaking great. Yeah. The kid's dynamic. You know what I mean? I don't want to put him in that great label yet after 4 games. But you see what you have with Malik. He's phenomenal talent. But, let's get that other people involved too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope it kind of balances out a little bit, where he's just not going to Malik, all that stuff as we move along here.
So, Chris, Malik Neighbors, Tyler Nubin, Drew Phillips, Theo Johnson, Tyrone Tracy. It's looking pretty good. I mean, Theo Johnson yesterday too showed you what he can do too. I know it's early, but they picked a good year to do Hard Knocks for the draft. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
what? And even Darius Moose,
right,
in, man. Teams, he's getting some snaps in the inside with Bobby. He had to step up that one game. He had to start.
Yeah.
So even he's on the field, Jerry. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's on the field.
Right.
So look, you don't know. You got to wait a couple of years, but very promising draft class for Joe Shane.
It is. And Theo Johnson yesterday, what did he got? 5 catches, 44 yards, something like that?
Yeah.
Look it up.
I think it was, yeah.
So, I'm sorry, 5 catches, 48 yards. You see why the Giants took him. Like he's got explosiveness. And as time goes on, he's going to get better and better. He's learning the tight end position as a pro. He's getting more comfortable. You can see it. Like, I'm so psyched about where a kid like that's going to go on this team, dude. Can't say enough good things about him. This draft class right now, it was just a feel-good win, and it was a resilient win. Like you said, you wanted a signature win. I think you got it, and a hell of a coaching job, like all around. Like I said, I'd break that football up for every player. Although when you told me that Isaiah Simmons never did this before and then made that play, there's a reason why he got the game ball. But everyone to a man played really well. Even Jamie Gillen hasn't leveled off yet, Chris. I know it's game 5, but
give him an 8 or 9. No. Yeah, Jamie's been good. Yeah,
and Greg Joseph.
How about Greg Joseph?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
is it 8 in a row for him now? Something like
that. Yeah.
He was always a pretty good kicker, man. So,
oh no, I know. We saw it, 60 yards or whatever he hit against us. Yes. Very well aware of it.
As a matter of fact, I've seen some calls for him winning the job for the rest of the season. I've seen that on Twitter already.
Yeah, well,
All
yeah.
right, Goodell's done. No, I've seen that already.
The good thing about X and social media is always very sane. So there
Very
you go.
sane, no question about it. Very sane.
But
And
I'm happy for everyone
what's
too.
up
Like
with this, dude?
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, what it was like this? You did it on Twitter today, right? This?
Not this. He didn't do this.
What
Boom,
did he
boom, boom, boom. He just did this.
Yeah, I just did this.
And then I
Yeah.
see CD Lamb last night going like this.
Yeah, I know. It's so
Could you tell me
inconsistent.
what the F is going on with that now?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know, man. The one side of me just says
Such a freaking disgrace.
90% of me, I should say, says this is so stupid. 10% of me is, my father who says just get up and do this. And I don't know, whatever. It's so stupid, though, dude.
Jimmy,
The ref should not get involved. The ref should not get
doing
involved.
this, boom, 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 like
Right,
it's
I know.
simulating a gun. Okay, I don't
What's
want
the
that.
was it neighbors doing that?
All right, but just going like this, first down.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't Zeke
Come on.
Elliott do that for years?
Yeah, it's stupid. Whatever.
It's the NFL, so I mean,
The refs cannot help but make themselves part of the game, and that's what's so maddening. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you becoming part of the game? Please stand down.
So, Jerry, you look at some final stats, pretty
Yeah.
impressive, right? Third down, 7-16. First downs, 24-17. Daniel, 23-34. Slay, 122. Tyrone, 129. Kenneth Walker didn't hurt him.
Not at all.
Deal.
He didn't do shit.
So pretty impressive, 420 to 333 total yards. And, of course, the big one, 37-22.
Yeah, there it is.
Pretty good offense off the field. So great number one passing attack in the league going into the game, and those guys didn't really hurt them. So a well-deserved win. It wasn't like they won 29-20. You said, well, a couple things here and there. No, I just thought the Giants was a well-deserved win.
No, in fact, the score was way closer than it should have been early on.
Right. Kick some field goals there, and then a turnover.
The turnover, yeah.
It should have been worse,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
impressive job going to hey Jerry, and the MVP, the silent MVP of the game. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It could have been not one false start in Seattle.
Great point. Yeah, that's right.
How about the job Daniel and Daboll did preparing
Yeah.
silent counts? How many times did Daniel come up and change the play? I seen Daniel come up.
I couldn't believe it. Remember we said that a few, like 4 weeks ago? Yeah.
Checking into run. He's checking protections.
Yeah.
Check silent counts. From what I understand, the whole week of practice, they had the music up like it was a Metallica concert in there. So they were totally prepared. But every team that goes into Seattle is so-called prepared for the crowd noise. But how many times have you seen games, including the Giants over the years, numerous false starts?
David Deal still probably has nightmares of that. And Luke Pettigrew, oh my God, 2006. That was a nightmare.
I mean, great job by Daboll, Kafka, Daniel,
and
offensive line, communication, everybody on the same page.
If I can ask you, Chris, the next time you're urinating next to John Mara, can you ask him to erect a statue of Carmen Brasillo, please? Because this offensive line is fun. It's making the offense fun to watch, dude. So I'm not giving all the credit to him, but he's obviously having an impact on this offensive line.
Yeah. And I just want to give a little shout out to Carmine's assistant.
Yeah, good point.
James Ferentz.
Yeah.
The old Patriot who just retired this year.
Yeah.
Daboll brought him on board.
Yeah.
From what I've talked to a few people and they've told me what an excellent job he's doing, especially with John Michael Schmitz.
Yeah.
A couple of people told me that within the last few weeks that
Yep.
they really love the job he's doing with Schmitz. The improvement is significant with Schmitz this season. I think you've seen that in this play.
Yeah, you have.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yes, great job. Great job by those coaching staff. And a guy like Illumino has been such a huge difference. And, of course, Runyon. I think John Michael's taking his game to another level, to a much better level this year, and that's really helped up front.
He's looking like
pretty good too. So.
He's looking like the number one center in last year's draft now.
Yeah.
He really is.
So, hey, good win. Like I said, this is a Bengal team that's coming in. That their offense is really rolling now. Don't be doing this so fast, bro.
Let's go. No, let's go, baby. Come on.
This is a really good offense that's rolling here, but their defense is just very vulnerable defense. Lou Anarumo just seems to have one game a year schemed up well, and that's against the Chiefs for some reason. The Bengals always seem to play very good defense against the Chiefs, and then everybody else torches them. So,
well, someone asked. I think someone asked on the live stream, "Can you talk to him? Your Staten Island Paisan?"
What do you want to tell him? What do you want me to say?
Just tell him to go easy on the Giants this week, or throw out the game plan or whatever.
I got to be honest. Right now, I'm not worried about them going easy. It's not like that's a real good defense coming in there. So
right.
They're struggling. And look, Lamar could do that too, but they've been struggling, except for the Chiefs game. They've been struggling all year.
Lamar made the play of the year yesterday. For those of you who haven't seen it, I mean, that was insane. I know it's week 5, but just put it in the books as the play of the year. So, yeah.
Leo Williams, pretty quiet yesterday.
Yeah, right. Even though he was on the field. Yeah.
Slack. Excuse me. Yeah, one tackle.
One tackle. Yeah.
Julian was out there. Good to see Julian out there making some tackles, doing his thing, and I'm happy for Julian. I'm happy, of course, losing end. That's good, but
he made a play early in the game on a live stream. Someone goes, "We should have signed him." I'm like, "Oh, guys, it's too early. Please shut up."
Yeah. So, if that guy's saying about Julian, I could imagine what he's saying about McKinney.
5 interceptions now he has.
So, very good. So good all around thing, and it
was great.
As you head into next week, it's against a 1-4 Cincy team.
Yeah.
It makes things very interesting.
And it makes things fun. 2-3 is so much better than 1-4.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We were saying it before, like, oh God, Giants, please somehow win this game so we can still do these podcasts with some joy. I mean, come on. 1-4 would have been, all right, which quarterback are we looking at? So I do want to say, Giants aside, I want to pay homage to a former Giant by taking a shot at a current Yankee. Chris, are you ready for my statement here?
A former Giant taking
I want to sing the praises of a former Giant by kind of taking a shot at a Yankee right now. You ready for this?
I don't think I know about this. Go ahead.
No, you don't.
I know.
Because I haven't talked to you about it. Watching Aaron Judge in the playoffs makes me appreciate Eli Manning more and more. I'll say that. And we'll leave it at that. I know Aaron Judge is an incredible regular season player, but in the playoffs, it's a thing. He struggles. And I'm just saying, a guy like, for all the shit Eli Manning gets from other fan bases, that's why we love him, because he's a big game player. So that's it. Now watch Judge hit 4 home runs tonight. Whatever.
I know he hasn't been that good in playoffs.
No, over the years, it's not just it's over the years. His average is terrible.
Yeah, he had the one good run, I think, but the last few playoffs he hasn't been good.
Horrible.
Oh, yeah, he's got look.
And I like Aaron Judge. I'm just saying.
You judge by the playoffs, right?
Right.
How you do in a big situation. So we'll see if he could turn that around for the Yankees.
Right.
But watching him the other night, it looks like he's starting to think about it. I gotta be honest. I can tell by his at bats. It looks like he's starting to think about it. But we'll see how that turns out for him. He's the type of guy all of a sudden he'll get on a freaking run.
Yep.
And all that. So
anyway. All right. Well, listen. 2-3, baby. 2-3. Good stuff.
Yeah, we'll come back Wednesday night. We'll preview the Bengals game and talk about what we might think happened and against a Bengals team that's they're really wounded now. So they're gonna be really desperate going in Sunday night too. Chris.
Psychologically broken, Chris, at 1-4. They are. I'll tell you right now. All right, we'll talk about it Wednesday. All right, guys. Good stuff, dude. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday, guys. Sundays are Giant days. Take care, everybody.